All right, first full episode for 2021. I think this is going to be a fun one. Top 5 baseball dad questions, specifically about the bat.
Uh-oh.
Now, sorry to make you relive this, but hopefully the coaches out there share your pain. Yeah. So let's get right into it. I've heard this one asked a bunch. What bat should my kid swing?
Ooh, yeah, that is number one.
Yeah.
So get bat fitted. That's the obvious answer. Other than that, if someone's answering that for you, they're guessing, because we're looking at length, we're looking at weight, we're looking at MOI, we're looking at bat construction in both one piece, two piece.
So there's a ton of variables that go into the makeup of an individual bat, but then there's also exponentially more variables that pertain to the athlete, right? From dominant hand to swing technique to even just perception and intention. So. Yeah, I think, like Micah said, if anyone ever thinks they can answer that question just through conversation, I'd be pretty cautious about listening to them.
Yeah.
All right, question number 2.
Here we go.
So this is one that you get kind of post-fitting after we go through the recommendation.
Yeah.
Is that a good BPI?
Yeah. Yeah, it's always at the very end, so is that good? Well, here's the issue. There is no such thing as good or bad.
It's good for you.
Right.
Might
exactly.
not be good for me.
Right.
That's like, what's the best color? Or what's the best flavor of ice cream?
Well, actually, no.
I mean, right?
Yeah, it's like we talk about a lot when we talk about the MLB guys. You have massively powerful, strong, explosive athletes and low BPIs, and you have guys that walking down the street you wouldn't even think are any kind of athlete swinging higher BPIs.
So most important thing is, it's about what's good for the person, not what's good for the entire spectrum. Right. Match it to the athlete. Treat everyone as a sample size of one.
Right.
All right, next question.
So next one would be, does in-loaded always result in more exit velocity?
Well, that depends. Let's say if we're dealing with cannon testing, which is where all of the published baseball bat physics papers that we can dive into are, the answer would be yes. Right? So when we have a static bat, we're firing a ball off it, or we even, let's say, have a robot that's moving a bat, hitting a ball off of a tee, that higher MOI, end-loaded, higher BPI bat is going to provide more exit velocity. Now, when we go back to what we actually see happen in the real world, that absolutely 100% is not the case, because in a vast majority of instances, the athlete can't move that end-loaded, high MOI, high BPI bat with the same amount of speed. Right? And when we look at all of the technology that goes into barrel design and, maxing out the BB core to 0.50, ultimately delivering the bat with more speed and quality contact is going to give the most exit velocity. So depends on how we're testing.
Yeah. All right, what's number 4?
All right. Should my son swing one piece or two piece?
Yep. So then again, we go into material, construction, that type of thing. So usually the two-piece bat is going to be a little more end-loaded. The one-piece bat's going to be a little more balanced, pretty natural. Now, composite aluminum can make that vary a little bit. Right. But if we're looking at end-load versus hand-load and that two-piece versus one-piece, the only thing we're going to say right now is if your player is not top-hand dominant, so let's think like much stronger right hand than left hand, we'd probably avoid an end-loaded bat unless we go through proper testing.
Right.
Just because we just went through some testing with a ton of athletes at Marucci World Series, and it's crazy. I believe over 90% of players that fit or perform better with that end-loaded bat in a blacked out, didn't know what they're swinging bat. The 90% of those kids that perform best with that end load were much stronger with the top hand.
Right. So if your player's, bottom hand dominant, like, my left hand has higher grip strength, I bat right-handed, there's less than a 5% chance I'm going to perform best with an end-loaded bat.
Right. And just from a baseball standpoint, we see this a ton with right-hand throw, left-hand hit guys. Just because they're obviously dominant right hand, throw right hand, and it's a much stronger pull with that bottom hand.
Right. So they're going to be best off to go into something that's more balanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Final question. So is there a way, let's say I'm a player, usually high school level, maybe some college players, I just finished my aluminum season, or it's coming to an end.
Right.
Can I use BPI to match aluminum to wood? How would I go about doing that?
Well, yeah, I mean BPI for sure. So obviously, if you're in like Louisiana, drive down and see us. If you're not in Louisiana, one of the things that you could do would actually be to send us the aluminum bat that you use. We can throw that on the scale, then we can work with Marucci to select and send you back a BPI match wood bat. If for whatever reason that's not an option, a couple simple things. If you really want to truly match the way the bat swings, the first thing you're almost certainly going to have to drop length a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably 1 inch. You might be able to get away with half an inch if you go with full cup, and even a little bit longer, narrower barrel. Anything you can do to keep the wood bat with a lower BPI, a more balanced feel, is going to have a better chance to match the way your kid's metal bat swings.
Right. And that's just a material thing.
Yep.
Pretty much. Yep.
All right, well, that's the wraps on another episode. We'll hope to see you again next time.